Hey everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. I hope you're all staying safe during this time of coronavirus and social distancing or self-isolation. I wanted to show you some ideas that I got for shaped cards yesterday. It was my birthday, so I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about my birthday with you. But one of the few gifts I got, I think that a lot of people are holding off on sending out mail or packages right now, although everything that I have read says that you're pretty safe to do that. But I do appreciate the thought of waiting. But one of the things that I got was this cute mask from my friend Heather. So I really appreciated this because she knows that I love cats. And when I was out on my walk afterwards, I realized, you know what? I could actually make a shaped card to look just like a mask, and how fun would that be to get that in the mail? And then after I made these masks, I realized, you know what? What's another thing that's kind of a hot button or hot topic right now is the shortage of supplies, namely toilet paper. So all of these cards can stand up. They're very easy to make with just some scissors or a craft knife. I've got two different designs for the mask, but it's super cute and it's actually life size if you put it up to your face. So the products that we're going to be using to make these, I just think it would be so fun to send these together like a little survival kit to your friend. And then I also thought that all of the sentiments in Emily Logan's Just Because set that just came out recently would be really good for all of these cards. So we're going to talk about these different sentiments in a minute. But the products that I'm using today, I've got the Gina K Pure Luxury White. I'm actually using the layering weight white. Normally I use the base weight, but this is a little bit easier to score, to cut, and it's just more flexible. So for this design, I think this is a good one. But if you want it to be more heavy duty, then go ahead and use the heavy base weight white. So out of one piece of cardstock, you can make both the mask and the toilet paper card. Just cut it at 4¼ inches, and these are going to make top fold A2 size cards. I've got 3 of them though because I was going to show you this other mask that I did. So and then in addition to the paper, you're going to want to have some kind of scoring board. So this is the little Scor-Buddy here. It comes with the scoring tool. I've got a MISTI for doing my greetings. You could also have some different size acrylic blocks for those images. These are the ones that Gina K carries. They've got grid lines on them and finger grips, so they're very comfortable to use. I've got just some of my cutter bee scissors. I've also got this craft knife from Arteza. Comes in a kit that has different blades for cutting different materials, and it actually comes with its own little cutting mat, which is really nice. So there's that. I have this large mat though here for doing my bigger projects, but I've got a piece of scratch paper that I'm just going to do my stamping on, the collage stamping on this flower mask. The stamp sets that I'm using today, in addition to that Just Because set for the sentiments, I'm going to be using my recent Stately Flowers 13 set. This has the flower, the Cherokee Rose I hadn't demonstrated yet, but you could also use any of the other blossoms in here. And then I'm going to be using that little leaf too. The ink pads that I'm going to use today, I have got the Gina K Coral Reef, the Dandelion Yellow, the Lucky Clover, and the Blue Lagoon. I have got some of the Gina K Black here. I've got pink on this mask. So this is the Dusty Rose. So many different combinations that you can get. Oh, and I hope I grabbed the card. Gosh, here it is. Wanted to give a shout out to Mary Kay Wary. This is a really beautiful handmade card that I received for my birthday from someone that I know through Stamp Junkies, and she is just so wonderful about remembering birthdays and holidays and sending out handmade cards. So I really appreciate this. Thank you so much, Mary Kay. And I noticed that she used Gina K products on here. I can't recall which kit this is from, but these are some two-step flowers that coordinate with her fancy foil products. So this is really beautiful. Thank you again. All right, so let's begin by doing that first card And I've got my pieces cut already. Oh, and I also have just a couple things, extra things that I have got. I've got a black pen and I have a pencil just for sketching on some of those details for the toilet paper card. And then a few markers if you want to add some accents. So let's begin by creating these mask cards. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you this one first, and then I'm going to show you this one. So these are both made from A2 size. So you're going to want to go ahead and for both cards, you're going to be doing a score at 5.5. So score that a couple times. I'll go ahead and just do that on both. And I have that marked since 4 1/4 for cards and 5.5 are common measurements. I've got that extra little measurement there. Okay, so for this one, this is kind of like when you're doing a gatefold card. So you're going to just split that 5.5 measurement in half. And so you're going to score this at the 2 3/4 mark on either side. And just flip it over. So this is called a gatefold. So they come together like this. So you'll see other cards designed this way that'll open up like that. You normally don't have that center score, but I have it that way so that it has that dimension to it, the way that it would go around your nose and around your face, okay? So next what we're going to do, we want to make these cuts symmetrical so it's going to look kind of like a bow tie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold this. And I'm going to cut. I'm going to start from the top of the mask side and go in slightly curved. So it's going to be about 1/3 to 1/4 of the way down there. And we're going to do this on this side, but I'm going to show you how it's going to make a little template for you for that other side so that you don't even have to cut, or I mean, you don't even have to use a template or draw it onto that side. Okay. So you just place that cutout piece on the other side and then just follow along approximately. Doesn't have to be exact. And then just cut to that corner. Okay, and so there you've got your mask. Now, if you want, you can cut into the sides with your scissors. So it looks like it's going around, but you're not seeing that edge. But if you want to have it so that those loops are full, I'm going to use that craft knife that I mentioned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. I'm going to show you one other version of this. This is so cute. So this is with Beth Saleka's Simply Circular set, and I showed a card like this using it on just a full rectangular A2 size card during our release. So I used all the circles to make happy faces, and this goes with that love your face greeting that is in the Just Because set. So this one I made it just a little bit more angular to make them look a little more like loops. So you can what do you call angle those edges if you want. But for this one, I'm just going to go make it just more triangular here. So you're going to come in and make a cut about 1/4 inch or a little bit bigger from the edge on either side, and then we're just going to go parallel to that edge. And then leave about, again, the same width, about 1/4 inch or more. Again, cutting parallel to that cut edge down to that score line, okay? And so you can just go through that a couple times, or you can pop out this piece and then go through on the other side. Then you're going to just cut down the score, connecting those two cuts, okay? So this is all going to pop out, and you can just tug on it, or you can just cut through again. But see, it's real easy with this thinner paper. If you don't use the thinner paper, or you need to go through, this will come through enough that you can then go through on the second layer and just trim it. Okay? So now let's do our stamping. So I'm going to take that scratch piece of paper that I had, And I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to do my flowers. But so many of these greetings, let's go ahead and add a greeting to it. So we've got bless your heart, thinking of you. I put you've got this on one of these, and I realized afterwards, well, you don't want to get coronavirus, but when I stamped it on there, I meant like, we'll get through this, okay? So that might be a little too ironic or sarcastic for a card, just depending on how you read it. Sending hugs, like air hugs, that would be so fun. Just a note on the toilet paper square, that would be hilarious. So all these are just appropriate and I think fun for this time and cards that you do. And I can't remember if I said this already or if I was just thinking to myself, I want to make sure that I say this. I am not making fun of anyone who has this horrible thing or all the serious things that are going on right now. These projects are just to just try to make the best again of a situation, and just to try to laugh, because what else can you do except try to stay inside and not get it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Love Your Face on here just because I had that one handy. Nice crisp black ink. And then I'm going to go on with the flowers. So these are 2 steps. So I'm going to use the bold. Oh, I've got the little tidy towel handy also because I had so many colors going on earlier. I want to make sure that my stamp is clean. So this tidy towel, it can just be moistened and then it'll dry and then you just moisten it again. You reuse it over and over again. So it's a nice sustainable option instead of using up paper towels, which are in more of a shortage than ever before that I can recall. All right, so I'm going to start with this yellow, and I'm just going to do a few of these. So just moving the stamp around, going off the edges, and then I'm going to use some of that coral reef. I have some thank you cards to make for some of those things that I did get for my birthday. So I thought this would be fun. My friend told me she has been looking for toilet paper. She's almost out. I told her, hey, you know, we've got so much that we got from Costco back before this even started. I didn't think we'd ever use it all. We still have a ton, but she's like, no, you need to save it, girl. You don't realize how hard it is to find it when you're out and about. And then I'm going to take this Blue Lagoon and I'm going to use that little centerpiece that has the little center for these flowers with the pollen. And you could even use this like a little accent. So I'm just going to pop this into, sorry, I've got a lot going on here on my desktop. Just having it show a little bit on the outside, and then you could put some here just to add a little bit more color and dimension. These are really pretty for decorating your envelopes or the inside of your card. I think I'm just going to leave it the mask though, but inside would be cute with bless your heart or thinking of you. Okay, and then I'm going to take this Lucky Clover and I'm just going to add a few leaves and we'll be done with the mask. And it sounds like there's like a leaf blower or something going on outside. Construction continues, so non-essential stuff is limited, but we still have a lot of construction and things going on in our street. And then our construction project continues here at home when my husband is not doing his normal business and stuff on the phone here. So we are still without a kitchen, but we are getting closer. So, all right. So here's this mask, okay? Now what I want to do is I want to add just a few scores to it, and this is going to look like those little folds that you see. So I'm just going to fold this up, and because it's thin, it's going to go through both layers. You don't even have to find a track or a groove on this scoring board. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the center here. Actually, let me make sure it goes that way, and then down. And I'm just making some scores that are running kind of parallel to that diagonal there. Okay, So that goes through on both sides. So it might be hard to see on this video, but you have the texture and you can see those grooves if you're holding it in your hand. So you can send it like this, flat. You can send it like this. But because you have cut to the bottom on either side, this mask will stand up. Isn't that fun? So anyway, try that out. I hope that you will try that design. For this next one here, I'm not going to do the stamping because it's going to come out just the same. And I put on this one, the Bless Your Heart, I sent a card instead of a text. I'm sure people would just love Happy Mail right now. So for this particular one, what I'm going to do is I'm just cutting into the middle. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go in like that and like that, and then just cut kind of in a curve down to the edge. So imagine that this is on someone's face and this is going around the chin, and then you can take these little cutouts and put them up here, but I'm just going to kind of wing it since we already made the other mask and we still have the toilet paper one to make. Come up here to the top, come in like that, and then for this one, I just went in about 1/4 inch and just cut these out like some trapezoids, okay? So it's all you have to do on this one, really simple. And this one will stand up as well. So again, for this one, it's like a side fold. Top fold I said, but top fold because it's the 4 1/4. So as you see, it'll just go just like that. So there's your second version of the mask. And again, here is that little happy face one. So for this one, I just stamped all those different circles from that set. And then I added some little smiles. And then just took, this is my Arteza Everblend marker, just did some little pink cheeks on here to add some color and make them extra happy. So that's super fun. And what you can also do is I stamp some of the open circles. I used both the solid ones and then the open circles, and then I went in to add some little pupils. And if you want, if you've got a white pen, you can even go in and add a little bit of white in there to just make it look even more like those emojis. All right, let's wrap up. Oh gosh, see what I did there? Pardon my pun. With the toilet paper card. So for this one, you're going to take that piece, and this folds really easy, so you don't even have to score the top if you don't want to. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to round off the top of this, but you want to make sure not to cut through it. It needs to stay connected right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just sketch just an arc there. It's really easy to make this continuous by just keeping your hand in place and going back and forth. And then we're just going to kind of gently make that arc continue there, and then you can kind of go in and just add just a little bit. You're not going to see great big stripes, but I did make that kind of pop out a little bit with the marker. And then you've got the center of the roll in here, and I'm going to trace that with my black pen. Then to just make this look a little bit more 3D, we're going to come down and go down straight. That's parallel to this side, and that is going to be that piece of toilet paper coming off. And then we're going to make another arc here that is going to be parallel to this top one. So we'll curve this around. And then I'm just going to cut this off, those little corners. And you can make this as round as you want. It's still going to stand up because that back flap is straight. But if you don't want to see those edges when it's folded, what you do is you're just going to cut this back piece a little bit shorter. And you can use your paper cutter if you want to make sure that this line is completely straight, but you don't have to. Okay, so that's going to stand up just like that because of that straight back flap. So now we're going to cut this off and just make sure that you leave some of that fold there at the top. Okay, and then I'm going to go on and I just want to do, just so that we see this a little bit more, if you would rather have it in just the pencil so it's more subtle, but I really want to make sure that you can see my lines here. And then this will always erase, even if you've done the pen details over it. And then if you want, you can do just a little dashed line to show that perforation of the paper. Okay. And you can either use, I'm using a gray here. This is the 151, which is, I believe, is in both that big 120 set that I have shown. So you can fill that in with the gray or the black, either way. Or you could use kind of a more of a craft color to resemble that cardboard inside. So then I'm just adding just a few shadows here to make it look more dimensional. So I'm just tracing along the edge of the inside of that paper and then along the side. Then I'm going to do just a little bit here and here. Okay. And then I'm going to add a greeting from that Just Because set. So on that one, I did Thinking of You, Happy Mail Enclosed. I think for this one, I'm going to do the, let's see, which one do I have out? I've got just stamps everywhere from making these different cards this morning. I'll do the Thinking of You again. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, here it is. Here's the Bless Your Heart. I'm going to do Bless Your Heart because for my friend who says that she's been trying to find the paper. All right. And then that Happy Mail Enclosed, that's really cute. You could put that on the envelope. So let's do the MISTI just in case so that I've got it nice and solid. So I'm going to put this down, my magnets down, make sure this is clean. This little Bless Your Heart right here. And ink this up with the black and we'll be done. And then you could put the Thinking of You or You've Got This inside. So, you know, just kind of consider your recipient, you know, whether they would find this amusing or super frustrating because they're not appreciating people buying more toilet paper when they need it or having to drive around or it's a real burden. That's probably not the best person to send this card to. So, all right, that's it. So fun. I hope you enjoyed these coronavirus ideas for sending cards, and just, I know you've got more time to craft probably than the usual if you're a card maker. So I hope you enjoyed these designs, and let me know in the comments below which of these is your favorite, or what you are missing most, whether that's that thing that you can't get, that activity that you can't do. My list is very, very, very long. Oh, I must have used a different one. Let's see. Which one did I use before? 551. Okay, so this one has a little bit more of a gray green, and this is more of a blue gray. All right. Anyway, any gray will do. Whatever you want to use. But let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and check me out on Facebook. I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I did yesterday on my birthday. Really silly for coronavirus and not being able to go to all the places that I love or be with the friends that I enjoy spending my birthday with. Stay safe. I hope you're all well. Look forward to hearing from you. Take care. God bless.